My guest is Pastor Ivo, who is the president of the Seventh-day Adventist Church here in Estonia. Ivo, thanks for joining me. And we're here in the capital city in a beautifully preserved old town. Describe the city we're in.
We are in Tallinn, and Tallinn, we are in the old town, which goes back to 13th century. And among these nice old buildings and stones here. But in nowadays Tallinn we have 450,000 people living in Tallinn in these days, and the population is growing and growing, and it's about one third of the whole population in Estonia.
Right, so it's a fairly urbanized country. Now, what about the church here in Estonia and in this city?
In Tallinn, we have two churches. One church is Estonian speaking and the other is Russian speaking. And the total membership at the moment is around 500 members.
In the city or in all of Estonia?
In the city.
In the city. So, Ivo, what are the challenges that you face here in mission?
In Tallinn, at the moment, our biggest challenge is how to reach people in Tallinn, because we need new churches, smaller churches, closer to people, where different population groups can gather. So in Tallinn at the moment, we have taken a goal in the whole conference in Estonia to plant new churches, and especially
Wonderful.
in Tallinn. And our vision is that there should be a church per at least 25,000 people, which makes it eight churches in Tallinn.
Wonderful.
So, and we hope that we're working for it, and by God's help that before the end of this year, one new church is being planted.
Fantastic. Now, what about urban centers of influence? This morning I visited one. What is your plan with that?
We have, yes, started a place which we want to grow into a center of influence, and this is also part of this initiative. We are inspired by the call which we have around the world to start these kind of centers, and we have seen them working elsewhere. Our idea is also to have a place where people can come from the community and where they are served. And our emphasis will be on family and health. We have like psychological services they're running, and health specialists like physiotherapy and these kind of things. And we are at the moment in the building up phase.
Yeah. Well, I visited it this morning, as you know, and you've already got a second-hand store up and operating, and you've got programs starting, and it's very early stages. I think there's wonderful things going to happen there.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I myself have a very high view of this thing, and I hope that, and I believe that God will bless this thing.
Yeah, because it's an opportunity. People who would never come into the four walls of a church, you're meeting them where they're at, and it's a neutral territory where they're not going to be threatened at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the aim is to get as many church members involved as possible.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you've got one church plant starting. Can you describe that?
We have a group of young people, young adults, mostly in their early 20s and 20s, and they have gathered almost a year now, planning for that church, and their aim is to reach out to similar people like them in the community in Tallinn.
Now, when we
this is, by the way, the first lay-led church plant that we have in our conference.
Okay, so who's leading that?
It's led by Liisu, a lay person, a young lady in 20s, and she's a teacher and a very energetic young lady, and the group is working well.
Fantastic. Now, when I mentioned mission challenges before, of course, one of your biggest challenges is that this is a very secular society. I mean, people have basically given up on organized Christianity. Is that true?
That is true, and of course, based on different research, the Estonians are the most secular people in the whole Europe. But at the same time, they are religious. They have very many Estonians believe in some higher power or something like this, but they are not into Christianity or into personal God.
Right.
So it's
So
pros
New Age,
and cons. Yes.
so like the New Age mysticism or even pagan religions have something of an attraction to some.
Yes, occultism and all sorts of things are very popular in Estonia.
So that means to me at least that the door is not closed, that they are open to spiritual things, but maybe the way that we have packaged it in the past is not attractive.
I think that we shouldn't look out of the window but into a mirror, yes. I think that I think that God wants to add people to church, but it's just we have to be ready for it, and our churches should be healthier, and by God's help, I think that we can grow.
Yeah.
And I can see that among young people, especially early 20s, there is a rise in interest for spiritual things, for Christianity, or something else, and we can see actually that a few young people are approaching the church, and they want to be involved. And this, our new church plant, even, they have already young people attached to it who were not formerly church members.
Wonderful. Well, that's very encouraging. Ivo, thank you so much for sharing with us and for your focus on growing the church through starting new groups of believers.
I think that's the way forward.
Wonderful. And viewers at home, please pray for the mission field of Estonia. Tremendous challenges here with people who, for whatever reasons, have become separated from Christianity, show no interest in Christianity, and how to break down those barriers for Jesus. That's a tremendous challenge, but pray for the urban centers of influence being started here and for the new church plants, that they will grow, that they will be alive, that they will be a blessing to the community.